Alright, so I'm going to be upgrading this DELL Inspiron N7110 to an SSD. If you're wondering how I removed all the other stuff, I do have another video showing that. Basically the RAM, battery, the CD drive, optical disk drive, whatever you want to call it, the keyboard. But yeah, we're going to be trying to get to the hard drive. The customer actually just wanted me to upgrade the laptop to Windows 11. But their hard drive is actually really slow. So I figured let's go ahead and attempt to replace the hard drive with an SSD, and then hopefully the upgrade will go better. So I already tore down most of it. We're going to be removing a few more screws, and hopefully the hard drive is right underneath the touchpad. I hope I don't have to pull the motherboard out, because if I do, that would make the labor a lot higher, and I probably will just leave the hard drive in there and see how it goes, because I didn't ask the customer yet if they wanted to upgrade to an SSD. I would highly recommend they do. And I'm going to be, since I cloned the hard drive to the SSD, I'm going to be attempting the Windows 11 install directly on there if it's not too difficult to get to. That way it'll go a lot quicker, the process. Anyways, I flipped that latch up. We're going to pull these cables out, flip this latch up, pull this cable out. If you're not sure how to get these things out, I have a lot of videos showing how to do these kinds of things. So yeah, this one I'm just quickly going through to try and get to the hard drive if we can. Okay, so we got all the other connections and screws and stuff out, so I'm going to see if we can hopefully pop this guy up. And as you can see, we can. I'm just pulling up from here, and then I'm sliding my fingernail along the gap. Obviously, if you don't have fingernails, you can use pry tools, but fingernails are free and they work really well, so at least mine do. I don't know, some people told me my fingernails are crazy strong. And yeah, the hard drive is right there. So it's really dusty in here, so I'm gonna clean this up. You can see you can replace the power button right here. There's only one screw. Then there's a little thing that holds it. You would lift up from here and pull it out. You got the other three buttons here, another one screw here. Same thing, there's this holding it. You would lift up this side and pull it out. Pretty sure this is held in with adhesive. The way I get these out is I drip some isopropyl alcohol underneath and I slowly peel it up. Some people like to use heat. I like to use isopropyl alcohol if it's not going to get into some crazy circuitry stuff that can cause damage. With the cabling, you don't have any issues with that. You can see there's a lot of dust here and here and all over the board, so I'm going to clean that up and I'll be back. This is basically just going to go over the little components I can see in here. There's the speakers, the activity lights or whatever you call these, CMOS, BIOS, RTC, real-time clock battery, CR2032 battery. You would just push that in and pop it out. A lot of motherboards use that on desktops. Speaker connectors right there. The hard drive, once you get this far, only has 3 more screws holding this caddy in place. Then you would slide it back and pull it out, which I'll show. And the fan connector there, wireless card here, 2 antennas that you go from the tail to pop up, and then you have another card here, WiMAX, whatever that is for. It's probably for like a SIM card, mobile network based kind of thing. You also have the LCD LVDS connector here with a flip latch. If you're going to mess with this, you probably should leave this connector for the power button. Press and hold it for at least 15 seconds after you remove the battery. Then you can go ahead and disconnect this and go to this point to disconnect that. You got this little cable, which I believe is for the webcam that goes into the screen. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to go ahead, clean this up, and then we'll be back to swap out the hard drive with an SSD. Alright, I'm back. So I cleaned underneath, and all the keys had a whole bunch of like probably cat hairs. So I tried to clean the dust and get those hairs out. Clean this out, okay. Cleaned underneath here. You can see there's no more of that brown dust that was there. Also cleaned out all the fan area. Anyways, we're just going to replace the hard drive, okay. Let me actually see if I can zoom in a little without knocking all the screws over here. Right, gotta be careful a little. You can see these are wobbly. Actually, oops, let me zoom out a bit. Actually, the hinge screws are wobbly, so I'm going to actually add some thread locker to those. So let's go ahead and pop these out. And yeah, these screws are super loose. Oh man. Okay. So good thing we caught that, because you don't want those popping out and then ripping stuff out of the computer. So I'm going to tighten that up. Okay. This guy. I'm actually surprised this thing hasn't ripped out of the board. I guess because they put that whole metal bar plate across. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, let's do the other side as well. Oh yeah, that's super loose. I barely had to use any force to undo those screws, or that screw. Okay. This side has a bit more leverage. The metal piece for the hinge is a lot more spread further. But yeah, these screws were like super loose. Okay. Alright. Tighten that in. Alright, that's good. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Hopefully it's not going to flop over as easily like before it was. The screen's pretty heavy, so it's more just the hinge itself. Anyways, let's go ahead and see if I can show a little bit better the hard drive. Okay, actually that's a lot better. Okay. I'm very close to knocking the screws down, but we got it good enough. That's a really good view. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the 3 screws out that are holding the hard drive caddy in place. Okay, I like to keep the screws in order by putting them in the pattern I remove them. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. In this case, we have those 3. I didn't mention it earlier when I was taking everything else out. I didn't show that process, so hopefully you guys aren't confused. Anyways, we're going to slide this back and then get this up. Dell does a pretty good job on this model of keeping all the screws pretty much about the same. The only screws that were different were the 2 underneath the CD optical disk drive, which you'll see when I go to reassemble it. Anyways, there's 4 screws holding this caddy onto the hard drive. So let's go ahead and take these out. This is a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can use, or you should be able to use, any 2.5-inch SATA SSD. In like 99.99999% of computers I've worked on, they pretty much accept any 2.5-inch SATA SSD. I think I've only ever had one that it didn't work and I had to use a different model. Anyways, now that we got the 4 screws out, we can go ahead and slide this off. Okay, just get that out, and we're going to go ahead and put the SSD in there now. So SSD, just make sure you line up the connectors the same way. Okay, so don't put that upside down. Alright, we'll set the hard drive aside for now, and let's go ahead and get the screws in. Because the new drives are thinner, you'll actually have a gap above the drive. So if you see when I put this in, there's a gap here. Okay, that's normal, so keep that in mind. Don't worry about like why it's not sitting properly. That's actually normal. Okay, so we'll get all these screws back in. And hopefully the customer will be happy with my decision to do this upgrade. I mean, if they say they don't want to upgrade it and they're okay with it being slow or whatever, or the risk of it failing soon because it's so old, then I could always just clone what I did on the SSD back to the hard drive, assuming the Windows 11 upgrade goes well. I like to clone the drive over to make sure, because if something fails and it has some issue where things can't revert back, then having the clone is nice to have. Is nice. Alright, anyways, now we just drop this in, slide that back in. You should feel it connect, and it shouldn't be easy to slide back out. And we'll just get the screws back in. Again, I kind of already went over all the little connectors and things, but I'll kind of give a little bit of a closer view now. And hopefully that will help you guys if you're trying to upgrade or repair your device. Alright, so pretty much now the old drive is the backup. It has everything exactly as it was. So if the upgrade goes wrong or if this drive fails, then the customer has that. Alright, so this speaker here, I believe this is the subwoofer. So as you can see, it has its own little connector here. These, I just grab the connector and wiggle and pull. I don't want to pull them out because sometimes the solder is not good on some of these things. And I mean, while most of them are okay, there's this small chance that it can just break off, and I don't want to risk that. All right, anyways, you got the 2 actual speakers here with that wire connected here. Again, the CR2032, very standard BIOS battery for desktops and things like that. This you would have to shove over that way because these plastic things hang over the battery, and then this is kind of spring loaded, so you push it that way and then you can pop it up. SD card slot soldered. I'm pretty sure the charge port and everything is soldered as well. Actually, the charge port is not soldered, so the connector is underneath the motherboard right there. So if you need to replace that, it's removable. You will have to undo the screen screws to get the screen out, and then also lift the this plastic piece off. I'm pretty sure I've worked on other laptops that had that same design and I had to pull everything out, but in this case we're not going that far. I think my other video I did take the screen out. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Alright, anyways, you got the fan connector there. Again, wireless antennas, you go from the tail, pop them up. To remove it, one screw, it pops up slightly and you can pull it out. Again, LCD LVDS has a flip latch connector there. Again, I don't want to mess with that because I didn't do the power drain thing. But also there's risk with other things. So, alright, I think that's pretty much it. Again, there's the hard drive and other activity lights, battery charging lights there. And yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Okay, so let's see here. How much do I need to zoom in and out? We'll get this lined up. We have the old hard drive there. We'll just set that aside so it's not in view. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put this keyboard polymerase assembly thing into place. And we basically just push everything. I like to start with that side and then work our way down and around. Click everything in. Okay, we got 4 screws that came from under here. We'll get those back in. Alright, there we go. If you notice, I like to twist the screws backwards first to hear them click. That way you know you're not having the screw go in crooked or diagonal or whatever and stripping out the threads. So yeah, alright, anyways, let's go ahead and plug back all these cables. So we have this, make sure the latch is up, get that lined up, in, and latch that down. Right, the touchpad trackpad one here. There's not much slack for this one, so you kind of have to pull it back somewhat. Right, latch that down, and then this for the power button. Again, if you need a more close-up view of how these cables work, these are ZIF connectors, ZIF, zero insertion force connectors. I have other videos showing that, so yeah, this one I'm trying to just quickly get it back together and stuff. Alright, keyboard connector here, get that in, and then latch that down. This keyboard, you put these little feet in first. I do have the other video showing the keyboard and everything more slow and detailed, I'm sure. But there we go. We're going to close this up. Oh yeah, much less wobbly. And now we'll just get all the screws back in and other little components. Oh, I need to zoom out a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. So like I said, the only different screws, or noticeably different, I don't know if they're slightly different, are the ones that were underneath the optical disk drive. So these 2, and they're silver as well. So, all right, you shouldn't be mixing up your screws on this model. This one's very simple to work with. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and put the optical disk drive back in. You just slide that in. This can be replaced with a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive or SSD caddy. So if you want to add another hard drive instead of having the optical disk drive, that is an option. Those tend to be pretty cheap. I think they're usually under $10 or something, or at most $20. So if you wanted to add that, yeah, there's that. And we're just going to get all the screws back in now, but that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, if you want to see the other components taken out and things like that, the RAM and whatnot, I have another video showing that. But in this case, I'm just putting it all back together. So yeah. Alright, again, if this video helped you, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right? If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in because it's like a close look of products and stuff, random things. That channel, I'm currently posting those videos on this channel as well, but I'm trying to grow that channel out so that way people won't be like, what's with all this random content on my channel? Has like so much random stuff on it going on. So I'm trying to split that off, but that channel is growing pretty slow. So yeah, if you're new to my channel and this stuff just helped you out, or if you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed to that It's Been Reviewed channel, please help me out by doing that. Hopefully once I get 1,000 subscribers on there, I should be able to stop posting the those review videos on this. I mean, if you don't mind the review videos on here as well, then I mean, it's fine, but I want to split it off so that way it's not all jumbled together and then you're like, I'm watching a repair channel, why am I all of a sudden getting recommendations for food reviews and stuff? But anyways, let's go ahead and get the last screw in and the battery, plug it in, power it up, and hopefully Dell sometimes has some weird issues or does some extra random checks when it detects new hardware. So let's see. Okay, this battery you have to put on slightly on top first and then slide it. And that's locked. We'll lock this side as well if it lets me. Does it not lock? Is it because it's a used battery? I mean, not used, aftermarket. Yeah, this side doesn't want to pop in for some reason. Is it the design? Is this, oh, this part of the battery's like bent for some reason. That's weird. Alright, there we go. Oh, I guess somebody tried to like jam it in or something when it was in the locked position before. Anyways, we'll get this plugged back in. Okay, and we just want to make sure it powers up and works okay. It's powering up. And there we go. Should be loading. Yep, and we should be good to go. Everything looks good. Alright, again, thanks for watching. Hopefully it helped, and I'll see you all in the next one. I guess I'll put this here for maybe a thumbnail. Alright, let's drop this. Bye.